And the police state ends with me. And we made it one more day. I'm just amazed at how many people say I should just be quiet about the Bartlesville police and city and Washington County of Oklahoma corruption. It really seems so many don't believe in the First Amendment and freedom of speech, or actually behaving as you are in the home of the brave. Let me repeat that. It seems that an awful lot of people don't believe we are in the home of the brave. They are too scared to even speak and utilize their First Amendment rights. You know, all I can say is goodness, folks. When did Americans become so apathetic and scared that they don't even believe in speaking up and out about police illegal activities, breaches of civil and human rights, and corruption? It's disconcerting, to say the least, to see so many folks be scared to even voice disapproval of police state activities such as I'm experiencing. But in reality, I mean, isn't that really how things have gotten this bad? The majority of folks, it seems, just let it happen and hide away, too scared to say no more to the police state, marching towards a Stalin-esque and Nazi-esque world. And actually, we shouldn't say marching towards, we should say have already gotten there. And, you know, no more. I say no more. You know, it's no joke. It's no over-exaggeration to say that stepping towards a Nazi world. Because what happened in Germany, and I'm of course not equating any of the actual activities or results of the Nazi Party to what's going on in America with the police, because you just can't compare things like that. So let me make that clear. But what caused the ability of the Nazis to be able to do what they did was no one speaking up and out, period. I mean, I'm not saying no one did, of course, I'm sure some did, but not enough. Obviously, not enough did. Now, I'm not asking anyone to do anything, I'm speaking for myself, but that goes back to, you know, the title, The Police State Ends With Me. Like I've said before in other videos, the main tactic of the police state is to single people out, harm them, and scare everyone else to keep quiet about it. I mean, that's what they do. They come down to your house like they did with me, 5 officers with guns at the ready, block off the neighborhood like a war zone, and won't even let the neighbors leave. And all the neighbors stand out in the yard and watch the police do this to you as they detain you out in your front yard illegally, telling you off and threatening you and accusing you and demanding that you know, you can't use the bathroom until you need to admit to what you've done. You need to confess to a crime you didn't even do. They scare the hell out of the neighbors. And then you become a pariah, and that goes back to the whole point. You know, we hope that people will group together and say no more, but you can't count on it. Individually, people have to be willing to live in the land of, you know, the home of the brave. You've got to be willing to speak up for yourself on your own, or it'll never get done. Because it's gotten this bad, and groups of people, you know, I know groups of people have done things, but it hasn't fixed the problem. And I'm not saying that one person speaking out will, but if each one person spoke out on their own about their own experience over and over and over again, things would change, because you add all those people up. And I guess I'm, you know, off on a rant here, and I guess I really haven't done that in a while, too much. But but I just go back to, people have to be willing to speak up. When you see the police state activities, if you drive by and see somebody pulled over on the side of the road getting beaten by 5 officers, you know, at a safe distance and where they can't tell you doing it, try to videotape that. Put it on YouTube. I mean, my goodness, people, things are out of hand. You know, tomorrow I'm going to be doing a video on a topic of how the police escalate situations purposefully. into violent situations and arrests and fees and fines and seizures and tickets and everything they can do. I'm going to be talking about that. And it goes to just the whole police state activity of, unless you're a corporation, a wealthy person, or well-connected, their goal is to get you in prison and to take your money and take your property. And if you think that's not their goal, just wait a little bit longer until it happens to you. But the problem is that people can't just be scared to death. I mean, if this is going on, you have nothing to fear but fear itself. If something's already happening, what more can happen? Who can live in this police state? If you experience what I've experienced, you realize you cannot live. I cannot live. I'm not safe to leave my house. In fact, as I reported, I'm not even safe in my house from the police state. They even send friends of theirs down to my house to drive their vehicles on my property back 60 feet off the road and run into a pole attached to my house and then threaten me to harm me physically and to go down 2 doors down and get that cop and bring him down here. A reason, they're creating an excuse to bring that police officer onto my property and do what to me? Well, that guy was threatening me physically. and of course, no one's going to do anything about that. I mean, if it's that far out of hand, goodness, if you're scared to speak, how much worse do you think it's going to get? You know, I mean, if people keep saying, well, gosh, you need to be quiet, don't you know you're going to make it worse for yourself? Exactly what more worse can happen? We've already gone over that. Killing me. If I believed they weren't already on that road, I might have a reason to be quiet. But the police state has no boundaries. They have no morals, ethics. They don't care. It doesn't matter whether I speak or I don't. They're going to do what they're going to do no matter what I do. And so I might as well let people know about this and document it so people can go at least look at it and go, wow, that happened. So I'll end my rant for today, but tomorrow we'll speak more about this escalation thing and these activities. And I even did a video on, am I one more false police report away from death? I mean, they're trying so hard to create police reports on me and make a police contact with me, even though I hardly ever leave the house, that they'll send one of their friends down here to drive on my property and run into the house, or a pole attached to the house, and then start a fight with me. Come on! That's how much they want to create a contact with me with the police. And what do you think they want to do? Kill me! That's what they want to do. They want to escalate. And we already know, even if I get it on video, they'll just take the video. And then no one's going to investigate or do anything. That's what I'm living in. That's what you're living in. You just haven't experienced it yet. So just wait. I hope it never happens to you. But unless people start being willing to speak out on their own, speak up and out, it will happen to you or your children, and your children, and your friends. It's going to happen unless you're a corporation, work for one of those large corporations, you're a wealthy person, a well-connected person. It's going to happen to you. And the police state ends with me. And with that said, I'll see you tomorrow.